Well, that was a bit of a tense ending.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, what's poppin', people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Not in the studio today, in my living room to discuss Chelsea 1, Fulham 0 in the Premier League. Cole Palmer, delivering a win via a penalty. But actually, despite the 1-0 scoreline, this was an intense and exciting game. Chelsea demonstrating their weaknesses once again, but also progress. Context. This is the first time we've won 4 home games in a row since 2020. 4 years ago. That's what the TNT commentator said. So I'm going to believe him. The first time 4 wins in a row at home since 2020. That has to demonstrate some form of progress. Look, Chelsea played the hits here, Profliga in front of goal, certain players making certain issues. Heck, Pochettino playing the returning Ben Chilwell at left wing. More on that later, actually. But yes, great performance. The TNT Sports gave the man of the match to Enzo Fernandez. It would have been a very difficult tussle between him and Cole Palmer, who was really, really good on the day. Chelsea kept a clean sheet against a good Fulham side, by the way. A Fulham side for the first hour at Anfield were winning and looked pretty good. Maybe just got a bit gassed against what is a very threatening Liverpool side at the moment. But they're good. I know they had a day less to train, but they didn't have to travel far to Chelsea. And we get the 3 points at the end, going over Manchester United and Newcastle United in the Premier League table. You know, you can be positive about this, people. Lots of problems remain still, of course, and we are going to discuss that in today's video. Like I said, this has been more of an informal style format. Of course, I do edited style videos in the studio usually. If you dig the content, you're welcome to join the fun by subscribing, hitting the bell, and if you want to let me know that you appreciate the content, simply hit a like. It's a tap of your finger or a click of a button. So thank you for doing that, my dear sweet friends. Right then, so Fulham are a good team. Like I said, they don't really have many absentees, certainly nowhere near as much as Chelsea at the moment. We're going to talk about how they lined up again, or now rather. So they play a 4-2-3-1. We kind of played a 4-2-3-1, though I think it was more of a 4-3-3 formation in terms of Gallagher and Fernandez. So I do think it was a 4-3-3 for Chelsea. Lots of yellow cards for Chelsea, though. We had 5 of the suckers in the end. My word. But yes, so the 4-2-3-1, Leno in goal for Fulham, who's been good. Diop and Adarabioyo. Castagna and Robinson I thought was excellent in the back line, their left back. The American kid, I think he was very good. They saw Kenny in the midfield. Jimenez up front, Willian, Cordo-Reeve, Wilson and Pereira started. They're all good players. Polina, of course, wanted by Bayern Munich. Fulham are a good team. Marco Silva's got them playing well. Ultimately, this was always going to prove to be a difficult game because their confidence would rise against a Chelsea team that's not completely settled and confident, and and this is an opportunity for them, and they didn't take it. Chelsea won. We played a 4-2-3-1 as well, or a 4-3-3. Like I said, I'm getting the stats from Who Scored, who's representing the formation as a 4-2-3-1, but I think that's incorrect. Petrovic in goal, more on him later. Gusto at right back, Colwell at left back, centre back partnership of Disasi and Silva. Caicedo was anchoring midfield, flanked by 2 very offensive number 8, Enzo Fernandez on the left, who was often playing as a left winger. Conor Gallagher more as a right number 8, who, by the way, nearly scored an absolute wonder goal with the outside of his boot. Whether he intended to do that, I'm not so sure. Palmer on the right, Sterling on the left, and the returning Armando Broja up top. Lots of talking points. Of course, we only won this game via the penalty at the end of the first half. It was won by Raheem Sterling literally in stoppage time of the first half. Now, Sterling annoys me because he dives a lot. He does. I can say that as a Chelsea fan. Jesus, my microphone needs to be tightened. He does. He always tries to win stuff. He thinks he's got that Eden Hazard juice, but he doesn't. But he's a great player and often pulls out moments for us. And he did that today, I think. He won us the penalty. Cole Palmer literally didn't even mean that. Cole Palmer executed it incredibly well. He is a very good penalty taker. Originally, I just thought he was just a confident lad and doesn't freak out when he takes a penalty, but actually, he's just really good at penalties. He waits until Leno commits to a side and just tucks it completely the opposite side, and not slowly as well. He executes it fast. So we go in a goal up. And in that first half, it was a very frustrating first half for Chelsea because we started well, we went off the boil, and if we don't capitalise off this early good attacking play, this is a massive recurring problem for Chelsea, recurring theme, then they start doubting themselves and becoming that young, inexperienced team that they are. But they got the penalty, and Chelsea probably deserved the win in this game. I know Fulham had chances, pulled saves out of Petrovic and applied a bit of pressure at the end, which again was largely our fault. But we had 17 shots to their 12, 56.5% possession to their 43.5. We had better pass, more dribbles, 11 apiece for tackles, and generally it's pretty even. We had 6 corners to their 4. They deserve respect, Fulham. They got good players, they got a good manager, and they played pretty well most of the time in this game. Of course, we go in ahead. I wonder how it's going to happen in the second half. It's tough. We make more chances, we waste chances, passages of play get lost. We see changes. Our first change is the 66th minute. Brewer comes off. We'll talk about player performances in just a moment to contextualise this game a bit more. Madueke comes on for his half an hour, which is fair because he's deserves to be involved pretty much in every game at the moment due to his performances. And the returning Ben Chilwell comes on for Raheem Sterling, and we don't see any changes until stoppage when Carney Chukwuemeka understandably comes on. He comes on for Palmer to just sit up top and chase, and Gilchrist, who's been used as a closer for Pochettino of late, also comes on to see out the win. Now, let's talk, while on substitutions, let's talk about Ben Chilwell coming on at left wing. This I hate. I think every Chelsea fan hates. And it shouldn't be the long-term problem. Now, I spoke about this on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at FootballYannick. I do a halftime show every game. But I was very angry when he came on at left wing. I was like, why is he doing this? But then I thought, okay, it's the Fulham derby. We need a win. He's coming off a long-term injury. We're only 1 goal to the good. We're against, confident opposition. All right, actually, maybe don't put him as left back. Maybe put him in front in a sort of, because he sort of plays left wing back E in a sort of asymmetrical hybrid system in theory. I don't like it. I'm not signing off on it. But for this game, if it was just for this game, then fine. Rather than throwing him on at left back for wingers to run at him when he's just coming back from injury when you're defending a 1-goal lead. If we were winning 3-0, maybe he puts him at left back. Maybe. I'm playing devil's advocate there. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, the manager, Pochettino. But if this remains to be his long-term plan for Chilwell, I am going to have take great issue with it. But for this game, whatever. We'll follow this story as and when it goes, of course. And yeah, we essentially see out the win. There's so many chances. Madueke looks good when he comes on. Gallagher nearly finally gets that first goal in sensational fashion for Chelsea, hitting the crossbar. And we get over the line. And yeah, So let's talk about player performances then. Okay, so Petrovic in goal I thought was really good. He's good, he's calm, he's not doing anything stupid, he plays it simple when he needs to, he's making good saves like most games now, and his passing doesn't look awful. He's confident enough to claim but won't roll the dice, which is probably good. There was like a moment towards the end where an Alisson would have come out and grabbed it, but he stayed at home, which is fine because of everything contextually. And I'm very, very happy with Petrovic. I think he was excellent. I think he was maybe like top 3 performers for Chelsea. The back 4 are interesting. Disasi frustrates me. 3 of the back 4 got booked. Did Colwell somehow not get booked? I swear he did, because he was kept giving away really dangerous fouls. He gave away 2 really dangerous fouls towards the end of the game that offered Fulham an opportunity to equalise via set pieces, and he does that a lot, Colwell. I know he's young, I know he's not a left back, that's not his fault, he's just being played there, but my word, you can't be doing that, mate. I think Gusto, he got a yellow card, which people are thinking, could that have been a red? I don't think it was a red. His red card, I think, when he went over the ball, which I think is very unfair earlier in the season, but his studs were like horizontal. If his studs are horizontal going onto a leg, you're going to get probably a red. But he like fell and sort of went down diagonally. Yeah, I don't think it's a red card. We'll see what, the pundits, the football media, the podcasters, the YouTubers say in the coming days when they look back on this game. But, I don't think it was a red. Let me know what you think in the comments. Silva will be happy that the children managed to execute a clean sheet. Disasi wasn't my favourite in this game. I do worry for his starting place long term as players get back and we get actual fullbacks fit. And Colwill, very frustrating. He did good moments and then he did really frustrating negative moments. I think he's an amazing player, Colwill, at centre back, but I understand we've just got no fullbacks at the moment, so fine. Now, Caicedo, the beginning segment of the first half was excellent, like really demonstrating how good he was, and then just generally had a good game after that. Gallagher similarly made a couple of high-profile positive moments in terms of tackles, turnovers, but a couple of high-profile, I can't score goals moments again. He just needs a goal, and then hopefully he'll calm down in those moments, but, a very strong performance from Gallagher. But the man in the midfield for me was the man of the match for TNT Sports, which was Enzo Fernandez. Now, he did get a booking. He did make a couple of mistakes when you're like, why did you do that? But at the same time, he was excellent. He was excellent in our own box defending. He was very good in midfield with his passing, and he was occupying the left wing a lot. I don't know where Sterling runs off to, but he was occupying the left wing and looked really good and had a great game. And understandably, maybe man of the match. But I think he was excellent, absolutely excellent. Again, let me know what you think of player performances in the comments. Let me know what you think of Enzo Fernandez. Said about Gallagher. Let's talk about the wingers. Sterling is very frustrating, but he won the penalty. He won. He was involved in the winning goal. He had a goal involvement for our 1-0 win. You'd say. Certainly FPL would say that anyway. So you have to just forgive. This is Sterling. This is Sterling. He will frustrate you. If Chelsea have a wicked team and settled players, he probably doesn't start. But at the moment, he's a senior player. He was professional. He'll never stop running, and he's got moments of quality. And throughout his career, he scored goals and won games. So you sort of just play him, and Mudryk still seems like that raw, unsettled kid that will be great one day, hopefully, but just needs time. So that's Sterling. Palmer, again, like joint man of the match with Enzo Fernandez. It wasn't just the execution of the penalty. I can't remember. He got booked towards the end. I don't remember that. Excellent penalty, of course, but to be honest, man, like the play leading up to the penalty and the beginning of the second half, it was the Cole Palmer show. He was really, really putting on a show. And what the greatest compliment I can pay to him in this instance is not the goal, is not the great play, is the fact how he's just reverted to type after what could have been a damaging performance for him in terms of those sitters at Middlesbrough. He could have had 4 goals against Middlesbrough, should have absolutely had 2. Like, if we're holding him to a Chelsea player standard up top, and he just shook it off and was like, okay, whatever. And he's back. He's back, baby. Another goal, another great performance. He was expressing himself in the final third. I don't like this thing where, Poch puts him up top as a striker. I know it didn't work last time, but he did it after Bria came off. But I think it's needs must. If Bria's totally good to go, if Jackson's good to go, if Nkunku's fit, he'll play up top, and we're probably going to buy a striker at some point, so we don't need to worry about the Cole Palmer striker, experiment, because it's got an expiration date on regardless. Bria, I felt bad for him. He was catching loads of strays in my halftime live stream on Instagram, and he has frustrating moments, but he has good moments as well. He's very strong. He did hold up the ball well. You can tell he's a big boy. There was a moment where 4 players were around him and he retained possession after not seeing a pass. And I think we carved our chance after that. Good. Big tick. Also, he's got good feet in the box. He's not just a striker that wants to run and swing and lash at it. He can dribble. He can shimmy. He can shuffle the ball. And he can do 1-2s. There's a striker in there. Will we ever see him at the level he can become, that he would need to become to be Chelsea's striker? I don't know. Fortunately for the lad, he's got time on his side. But yeah, let me know what you think of Bria. And of course, in terms of substitutes, Alfie Gilchrist, everyone loves him coming on, don't they? I think he made a good clearance. He's just super involved. He's definitely got a future under Pochettino, if Pochettino's got a future at Chelsea. We'll see. Obviously, time will tell all of that. Chukwuemeka didn't really get a chance to do anything. And then, who else came on? Of course, Chilwell and Madueke. Madueke looked good in a couple of really good moments. Again, it was high octane hectic towards the end, so Madueke didn't get a chance to maybe score, but he looked good. And if he starts a game, the next game, if he starts, you wouldn't, I imagine most people wouldn't take issue with that. It's just unfortunate for him. He's a right-sided player because you've got Cole Palmer in your way, which is very, very problematic if you're trying to get into the team. And Chilwell, I didn't really see anything for Chilwell. He made a good inverted striker run, which is his inclination. That's what he does. That's what Pochettino's probably asked him to do. That's probably why he was playing at left wing. But we don't want him playing left wing in the long run. So I put it out to you guys. What do you think? Let me know what you think about the game, the result. I'm pretty happy, considering we've not been great, considering this could have been a difficult game, a 1-0 win, a clean sheet, a Cole Palmer goal. I'll sort of take it to the bank, really, especially at an early kickoff on a cold winter's day. Thanks for joining me, guys. Back in the studio tomorrow, so turn the bell on when you sub, and see you guys very soon, hopefully. Peace.